Okay, I think Cedric Kaze, no Ben Youssef need to take this one for the team. They are the reason why Kaizer Chiefs lost the game to Stellenbosch namhlanje. And Umabuwe was having a game of his life namhlanje, especially when they bring in Utere and then have Umabuwe playing that as an 8. Offensively, I think he was brilliant. I think that's his strongest point offensively. And he was making Kaizer Chiefs ticks, and they looked so dangerous against Stellenbosch. And then they decided to take him out and put in Augustin Serino. Augustin Serino is not a bad choice, but for that role, he is a bad choice because if you look at Tumaboa, he gives you both things. Offensively, he is good, and also defensively, he gives you something. So he keeps the team in the shape. So when you take him out and then bring in Augustin Serino, then your offensive play will still be good because Serino is that good offensively, but defensively, then you lose the shape. And I think that's how we get the Chiefs lose this game because they lost their shape because they took out Ewulebugang Mabowe and they were playing. If they began the game with a 4-2-3-1, when they take out Mabowe, now they were 4-1. Mesekuba Augustin Serino phambi who was playing with I think Umdu. So they were playing with an inverted triangle, and Utero was playing with a single pivot, and that made them lose Ilokunani shape. And Stellenbosch capitalized on that, and they got the second goal. So that's why I'm saying Ukaze, no Ben Youssef need to take this one for the team because their changes actually was the one that saw them losing this game. That's how I saw it. Now back to how the game began. The Kaizer Chiefs lineup, I think it was okay with the 4-2-3-1. Umako with fullback in the Solomons, Kwinika no McCarthy central pairing, Ngobo, Nomabuwe in the middle, and then which is that playing that number 10 role. I think he was very, very good. He has an eye for in pass. He can play those combination passes, and also he has a long pass. He had sprayed some few long passes, and they were spot on. So technically, also is only technically and tactically, I think is something, and is going to give Chiefs something moving forward. I think it was very, very good. But on the 60th minute, he began to show signs of fatigue. Not only him and also Ngobo. Around the 60th minute, they both showed signs of fatigue. So I was like, okay, I think they need to change these two, which they did. They take out Ngobo and put in Utele and take out Chislet, and then they put in Umtula. Took out Dupri, put in Umfundo Shabalala, and they took out to Silva. And then who did they bring in for Silva? Why did I forget the other side? Utuba came in for Silva. Now, when you look at the game, because the Chiefs on the first game, they were looking to bypass the middle by playing Amalong Paul using Ukwinika and also McCarthy, sometimes Peterson. They were using those players to actually play long passes by passing the middle. So they were looking for the pace got Dupree because Dupree has a pace. They were looking to play those balls behind the defense, Stellenbosch, and then Dupree because he is pacing to get those balls and actually punish Stellenbosch. That was successful one time, and Utipru did everything good, so good. But then the final product on an open net, he just decided to miss. Now I think what made him actually miss that ball, it was the minute on the field of play. The minute on the field of play, I think played a crucial role in ensuring that Dupree missed that opportunity because it was an open net. There was nobody, Epalini, but still he missed because in terms of match fitness, he's not up to standard. Maybe they were actually preparing him for gaming a weekend because they know Guti Pirate Usbisi. CM are a little bit slow. So if they introduce a speedy player like Dupree, maybe that will actually help them kill Pirates over the weekend. So they started that with today with the Stellenbosch, but it worked once, and then Dupree missed that golden opportunity. But speaking about them playing long balls, trying to find Dupree, Stellenbosch, I think they were very, very solid in terms of defense. We used their coach Willis Stenik, Ulebusa Nomtag. I think they were very, very alert in terms of anticipating those balls, and then they won most of those balls. But there was actually a gap between Dupree no Silva and then Chislet no Dilep there was too much space that if he defends Stellenbosch wins Laoma long balls, then the second ball, it was very, very hard for Abadala Bafana Lebanon Chislet and also Nzobo joining in Orumabo, but which they didn't do much in the first half because they were protecting the defense at the same time. So Chislet, Nonilebo, it was taking them some time to actually come in and join in to support Lamar long balls to win at least the second ball and continue with the attack up. So I think in that to actually make necessary adjustments or necessary preparations for the second balls, because should they were able to actually win a second balls that were defended by the defense Stellenbosch, I think they could have done something with those long passes that they were playing from the back by passing the middle. Probably they were trying to preserve Umabo and Onzo to make sure that defensively they give them something, but I think Umabo is brilliant anyways. That role I think he has mastered it. Whether you're playing him as a 6, holding midfielder, or you're playing him as an 8, sometimes as a 10, he will always perform brilliantly. Brilliantly so. He can defend, he can attack, he can dribble, he's smart, he knows football. So he can give you everything that you want from a player that plays in the middle. So I think they should have trusted him and actually make sure that he actually detect the tempo of the game and control the game and take it to Mamelodi Sundowns. From 30 minutes towards, from 15 minutes towards 30 minutes, Opili came lively, Opili from Stellenbosch, and I was like, oh, I hope Solomon actually is seeing that, and also Ukinika, who's actually covering for him. I think they see that Opili has come to life with the game, and he might hurt them because he's skillful, he is good on the ball, he can pass, he can shoot. He's a complete player, in my opinion, as a winger. So I was hoping that Solomon sees this and actually can pick it up and actually ensure that Opili doesn't get time and space on the ball to actually hurt them. But somehow Opili scored, because somehow there was a lack of concentration with defensive Kaizer Chiefs, which saw Opili get that opportunity. But I saw from the 15 minutes that he's coming to life in the game, and I'm hoping Solomon's Nokwiniga sees that, and also if he drops in, he needs to actually support in making sure that they contain him to deny him space and time on the ball. I think Ethan Critchlet, he is good. He's very, very good. He has eye for a pass. He has a good technique. I think he's commendable, in my opinion. He's commendable. The more game time he plays, is going to be a good asset for the Kaizer Chiefs. That's my opinion. Silva, on the other hand, while Sakulmangi Chiefs, I think if he is centrally in front of goal, he is very, very dangerous. But if he chooses to run to the side, outside of the box, I don't think he can give Kaizer Chiefs much because he looks out of place when he receives the ball, either on the left side of the 18-yard area or on the right side of the 18-yard area. You can't expect too much from him, but when he plays centrally in front of goal, I think he's very, very dangerous on those positions. And anytime anything can happen when he's there, and he has goals in him. Also, while the Sabuga in the Kaizer Chiefs, I think somehow Umako got lost in the game, especially on this. Was it the first goal? He was lost. He tucked in too much, and then Utu tracking back the runner. I think it was Titus also was late when he whipping that cross to find Upiri, who scored the goal, the first goal. In that instance, Umak was tucked in too much, and Dupree, who was actually supposed to track Titus, also because Umak got tucked in too much, was very, very late, which saw space for Titus, who whipped in that cross and find Upiri, who scored the goal. As I was speaking, that Solomon and Kwiniga need to actually watch him because he came to life from the 15th minute. So somehow, coach Stellenbosch decided to take out to Euste and bring in Butzaka on the first half. I think in the 33rd minute, it was a tactical change, in my opinion, because Stellenbosch began the game with 5 defenders, 4 middle, and then 1 striker, which was a QB. So somehow on the 33rd minute, they decided to take out to Euste and bring in Butzaka to add numbers going forward. I think he saw something, as I'm saying that from the 15 minutes, there was signs of Upiri gaining control over Solomons and also Ukwinika. So when they bring in Uputsaka, I think he coach wanted to capitalize on that, but quickly Kaizer Chiefs scored because Umdaga moved forward and then he lost the position, and then to track back he took too long to actually track back, which saw Lepo find that ball up a space in Skamdaga, and then we pinned it cross and find Usilva inside the box who scored that goal. I think that was a brilliant move from the Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs created a number of chances, half chances, and some of the chances that actually could have buried the game, but they did not. So as I'm saying that, our coach needs to take this one for the team, but also my players up front, I think they had some opportunities that they could have buried for the Kaizer Chiefs, but they did not. So which saw them getting defeated by 2-1. Toward the first half, I think the game was a little bit balanced. It could go either way, but the Kaizer Chiefs at the same time was leading with a goal to 0. They came back on the second half. I think Stellenbosch made immediate changes on the second half. They brought in a player like Kutiwani on the 46 minutes for Mtala. They brought in Upalashe for Mtiane, and then later on they brought in Ukanyi for Cubido, and then their exchange was Makoboti for Upil. I think the immediate changes actually brought something into Stellenbosch because they began to control the game. Especially from the 60th minute towards the 75th minute. I think Stellenbosch was all over them, and I think that's where Kaizer Chiefs actually did mistakes. Ngomabuwe. But before Mabuwe, Kaizer Chiefs on the 70th minute, while Stellenbosch was on control of the game, they introduced Utele Foronglobo, who stabilized in the middle. He gave them a little bit more of a shape. In the middle, Sebelana Mabuwe is double number 6, and then Utuba came in for Silva, Villagas came in for Dupree, Ushabala came in for Chislett. I think they sort of bring a balance in terms of the game. You could see it now they are challenging Stellenbosch 50-50 in terms of attack. So Stellenbosch attack Chiefs and win the position, regain the position. You could see their attack with a certain identity, and they can hurt Stellenbosch anytime. But unfortunately, some of the chances they didn't actually capitalize on them. And then later on, while the game looked balanced because Stellenbosch was on control, then the game looked balanced after those changes. And then when the game looked balanced and the Chiefs looked like the team that want to score, then they took out Mabu and bring in Usirin. And that's where they lost the shape. And then Stellenbosch capitalized on that because when they take out Usirin and bring in Mabu, that's where things become bad for the Kaizer Chiefs. And I think that's where they actually lost this game. Should they kept Maboe on the field of play, they could have scored and won the game 2-1, or they could have ended that game with a 1-1 draw because Maboe has this ability in defense, but also offensively. I think is very, very good. I think he's one key player for the Kaizer Chiefs, and then makes the Kaizer Chiefs ticks, whether defensively or offensively. He's that player with Kaizer Chiefs that makes them tick right now. If you want to look at the squad for Kaizer Chiefs, so you line up Kaizer Chiefs and look for a player that actually makes them tick, and that has to be Ulebogang Maboe. I think namhlanje he brought a game a man of the match performance for the Kaizer Chiefs, but unfortunately they lost the game. They are going to play Pirates on the weekend. It's a derby. It's unfortunate the Kaizer Chiefs is going there with a loss, but I'm hoping that they will actually rectify their mistakes today and actually bring their A game coming the weekend against Orlando Pirates. On the other hand, the bad news is Sundowns won the game and they are back on the number 1 spot ahead of Orlando Pirates by goal difference. Right now they are number 1, Pirates number 2. They have equal number of points, equal number of game played, but in terms of goal difference, Sundowns is number 1. But not that, because I think when you look at the goal conceded and the goal scored, they are equal because they both on positive or on plus 19 goal difference. But I think Sundowns has got a little bit more goals than Orlando Pirates, and Orlando Pirates has conceded lesser goals compared to Mamelodi Sundowns, because Sundowns has scored 27 goals, conceded 80, Pirates has scored 26 goals, but conceded 7. So the difference is Sundowns scored 1 extra goal, but Pirates has conceded 1 lesser goal compared to Sundowns. So it's that Sundowns has scored more goals, that's why they are on number 1 currently. So coming the weekend, the Chiefs is playing and Orlando Pirates, which is the derby. But also there are other games. Sundowns is also playing as well. But we will see what's going to happen. We are waiting for the weekend and see what's going to transpire, because from the weekend going forward, it's going to be clear who actually is number one. If Pirates fails to beat the Chiefs, bad news for Mapagani. If Sundowns fail to actually beat whoever they play, it's going to be hard for them also to catch up. So now it's who's who. Because also Kaizer Chiefs has a chance to slot themselves back into number 3 and actually be in a better position to compete for the league. But right now they are at least 8 points behind the log leaders. At least they still have a game in hand. Should they win that game, it will push them up to 33 points, which will see them 5 points away from the leading duo, which is Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs. Thank you, everyone. This is Nevertheless Commentaries. I'm your host, of Seven Sports, favorite Ank on the net, Black Italian himself. From me to you, I'm saying a pronto piacere. Don't forget to smash it up. Tell me what you think about the game at Kaizer Chiefs. I love you so much. I'll see you again with the next video after a game at Derby on the Saturday. May the best team win coming at Derby on Saturday. Thank you very much. I love you all. Bye.